Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to show you how to make a really simple romper. It's comfy, it's flowy, it has a little zipper on the side, and I'm going to do just a crazy thing today. I'm going to make this romper out of a tablecloth. I've been making an effort lately to source my fabric more responsibly, so I'm always looking at thrift stores for fabric remnants or unique tablecloths or even bed sheets. That might be a little gross, but bed sheets are actually one of my favorite things to test out new patterns on because they're like $1 and I wash them. So I'm gonna be using this lightweight cotton tablecloth for my romper, and let's just get started. First, I'm gonna show you how to draft this pattern at home, and then we're gonna cut our pieces, and then we'll start sewing. All right, we are going to draft this pattern real quick. And if you're thinking, is that wrapping paper? Yes, it is. Wrapping paper actually makes great pattern paper, especially if it has a grid on the back. Another little sustainability hack. So I'm gonna trace this pair of shorts for my pattern. Any loose fitting shorts will work. I'm gonna fold the shorts in half with the front of the shorts facing up, and I'm gonna trace all around it. I'm laying it completely flat so that I'm tracing exactly where the seams are. So now I'm just gonna straighten those lines with a ruler, and I'm making sure the width of the top of the shorts is my waist measurement divided by 4 plus an inch for ease. And I'm also adding an inch of width at the bottom of the shorts. This is gonna make these a little bit more flowy. I'm also adding 2 inches to the top of the shorts to make these high rise. And I'm gonna extend this inseam by an inch to make these more flowy and loose. I'm gonna add a 2-inch hem to the bottom, and I'm gonna drop this crotch seam down by about 2 inches. Again, flowy and loose is what we're going for, so I'm leaving myself plenty of room for that. And last but not least, I'm adding 1/2 inch seam allowance all around. Then I just felt in my soul that these needed to be an inch longer, so I went ahead and added an inch to the bottom. And now I'll cut it out and label it. Okay, now we're gonna use that front pattern piece to draw the back pattern. So I'm gonna trace it all around. I'm gonna add another 1/2 inch to this inseam. And I'm also adding a little bit more room for this curve around the back of the shorts, just because the back of the shorts typically need a little more room than the front. And I'm also adding a little more room to the hip curve as well. Now remember, this pattern already has seam allowance included because we traced it from a pattern that already had seam allowance, so that's already done. And now I'm just making sure it matches up with the front of the shorts at the side seam, the inseam, and the hemline. Once that's good, you can cut it out and label it. Okay, now for the easy part. I'm gonna trace the top of the romper from this flowy little tank top. So I'm just laying it nice and flat, and I'm gonna trace it all around. I'm gonna straighten this shoulder seam a little bit. I'm gonna drop the neckline down by about 4 inches, giving it a nice curved neckline and a nice curved armpit line. And now I'm drawing where the dart will go. So I'm just gonna draw some lines 1/2 inch on each side of the center line. And now we have a little dart to make this bodice a little more fitted. Now I'll add seam allowance all around and cut it out. And I'm gonna remember to cut this on the fold. This is only half of the front, so cut it on the fold. Okay, now we're gonna cheat again and make the back bodice out of the front. So I'm just gonna trace it all around. I'm gonna drop this neckline down by another 4 inches. And I'm adding 1/2 inch of length to the shoulder seam up at the top. And I'm also gonna add a little bit more room to the shoulders since the back needs a little more coverage than the front around where the shoulders will be. And remember, this one also has seam allowance already added, so I'm not adding any more to that. And now I'm making sure the front and the back match up perfectly. Then I'll cut it out and label it. And now I'm tracing my hand to make a simple little pocket pattern. And last but not least, I'm gonna make sure the front of the shorts and the front of the top are the same width so that they match up later. And I'll do the same thing for the back. For fabric, I'm using about 2 to 2¼ yards of this lightweight cotton tablecloth. So I'm gonna lay it out and cut out all of my pieces. What's that? You don't have pattern weights? Well, that's what smartphones are for. it is sewing time, the most exciting time. So here I have all the pieces that I cut out, thread and a bobbin. I have some tailor's chalk, some little scissors, some pins, and some tea. And today I'm gonna be using my mom's Singer Simple sewing machine, and let's just get started. The first thing I do before I start sewing, I always take my tailor's chalk and I make a little mark on the wrong side of the fabric for all of my pieces. And this just really helps when I'm matching everything up. I also usually mark which one is the front and which one is the back side of the shorts because they look pretty similar. So this just helps it not be so confusing halfway through the project. So I put a little F on the front side of the shorts. Okay, next I'm gonna make a little mark where the pockets will go. So I'm gonna make a mark 4 inches down on the front and the back sides of the shorts, and this is where the pocket will start. I'm also gonna make a mark where the zipper will go because it's gonna start at the armpit and it's gonna end like probably 2 inches down on the shorts. So I'm just gonna lay it out and measure and make a little mark where the zipper will end. Also, all I have is this like natural cream colored zipper, but I feel like since it's an invisible zipper, you won't really see it. So it'll be fine. And the last thing we have to do before we start is transfer over the dart. So all I do is lay it against my fabric and I take my tailor's chalk and I use my finger as a guide to make lines where they need to be. And then I'll get my ruler and straighten out the lines. And then we have our little darts. All right, and now we're ready to start sewing. Okay, starting with the shorts, I laid down the right pant legs, one for the front and one for the back. And then I'm laying the pockets down, right sides together. And I'm just gonna sew it right here where the pockets are at 1/2 inch seam allowance. I'm gonna do that for all 4 pockets, and then I'll press all of the seams nice and flat. Okay, now I'll lay those pant legs together, right sides together, and I'm gonna sew down the side seam, around the pocket, and down the rest of the side seam. And remember to leave that little part open because that's where the zipper will go later. Okay, now for the fun part, I'm flipping one pant leg right side out and placing it inside the inside out pant leg. This way they'll be facing right sides together, which is what we want. So I'm gonna pin it all around the center seam and sew it all around. And now we have some beautiful shorts. I'm pressing it nice and flat, and I'm also gonna clip some little tiny triangles in the seam allowance of the crotch seam. This just helps the fabric stretch and go around the curves a little bit better. Now, moving on to the top of the romper, I'm gonna start by folding the darts in and pinning them down on the wrong side of the fabric, and I'm gonna sew along those pinned edges. I'm gonna press those seams nice and flat. And now we can connect the front to the back of the top, pinning them along the side seam and at the shoulder seams. And remember to leave the left side open, that's where the zipper will go later, so do not close that part yet. All right, I'm gonna sew those pinned edges, press the seams open, and now we can connect the shorts to the top of the romper. We are almost done. So I'm gonna put the top around the shorts, right sides together, and pin them together. I'm gonna sew all around that pinned edge so that when we open it up, we will have a full, beautiful, connected romper. All right, it is the final day of sewing. We just have a few really small things to do. Next, we need to add this bias binding. So this is gonna go around the neckline, and then it's also gonna go around the armpit line. Basically, bias binding is just a strip of fabric cut on the bias of the fabric, which runs 45 degrees across the fabric. So it runs diagonally, and it's the stretchiest part of the fabric. So it has the most give. So it's perfect for going around curves, going around necklines, and all kinds of things. So all I did was measure the entire neckline of this garment, and then I measured around the armpit, and then I just cut some diagonal strips of fabric, whatever that length was, and now we have our bias binding. So let's go ahead and add that. Okay, so I'm gonna take the bias binding and pin it to the neckline, right sides together, all around the entire neckline. Once I get to the end, I'm gonna fold one of the ends up by 1/2 inch. I'm gonna overlap the other end on top of that, trim off the excess, and pin it down. So then once we flip it over later, we're gonna have nice, neat edges all around. And I'm gonna do the same exact thing to the armpits. I'll pin it all around, trim off the excess, and remember, we're gonna leave this open for the zipper. Okay, now this part is crucial. I'm gonna press the seam allowance up towards the binding. And I'm gonna do an understitch here. Basically, I'm just sewing the seam allowance to the binding so that they're gonna lay nice and flat. Okay, once I do that, I'm gonna be very careful and trim the seam allowance down short, just to take away some of the bulkiness. After that, I'll fold the binding down by 1/2 inch, press it down all around, and then fold it down again by 1/2 inch. This is gonna create a nice, neat binding around the entire edge. So I'll just top stitch that down all around, and look how beautiful this looks. All right, we've arrived at my least favorite time of all. We're gonna attach this zipper. Now this is a 7 to 9 inch invisible zipper. I'm not gonna lie, I don't enjoy putting zippers on, but thankfully I have this zipper foot that came with the sewing machine. This zipper foot is a little bit more narrow than the regular presser foot so that you're not running into the zipper as you're sewing it. So it makes it super easy to attach a zipper. Let's just see how this goes. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna unzip the zipper and lay it right sides together against the romper. And I'm gonna pin it all around. I'm gonna take off the regular presser foot, attach the zipper foot, and start sewing this little zipper down nice and slow. And just like that, we have a fully functioning zipper. I'm so proud. Okay, the last thing we need to do is hem the bottom of the shorts. I'm gonna fold it up by 1 inch, press it down, and then fold it up by another inch, and then I'll just top stitch that down. And now we have our cute little romper. I love how this turned out. So easy to draft the pattern, so easy to sew it, and nobody will ever know this was made out of a tablecloth. I love this romper. I love this. I cannot believe this is made out of a tablecloth. I think I'm gonna get my roommate's opinion on this. Just come in here, but don't look at me. Don't look at me! Can you guess what it's made out of?
A curtain.
No!
Tablecloth.
How did you know?
I don't know.
What would you rate this out of 10?
I would give it an 8.
An 8?
Did you want a 10? I would give it a 10.
A 10?
I'd give it a 10. I don't know, I couldn't give you a 10.
Why?
That's cheesy. Everyone will know you told me
So
to say
it's an
10.
8? That's your honest opinion?
I'll give it a 9. I like rompers and romp. If you would rather have romp hems. Fit check. All right.
Okay, bye.
Ready?
Yep. Bye bye.
You can choose 8, 10, or 9.
I like 8.
Oh, hello. You've got a lovely style and a high. Should know I've been riding all of your mama's advice.